It is Jenny and Mimi here again, another week of our Sugar Talk series. We are the founders of thenaughtynutritionist.com, and that is where we are all about teaching you easy tips and strategies on how to lose weight and reach your health goals without giving up all of the awesome things in life, such as chocolate and wine, as you already know if you've been following us. Like I said, this is another week of our Sugar Talk series. This is actually our final week of our Sugar Talk series. And the Sugar Talk series has been us dipping into everything sugar and how it affects your weight loss efforts. Last week, we talked about creating a healthier pantry. We talked about reading labels. We talked about, the AHA's daily recommendation for added sugar consumption. We talked about a lot of things, so you can check out those videos. They're still on our feed. And this week we're going to be talking about swaps. So it's all about healthier sugar swaps. You find a recipe online, like banana bread, for example, and you want to make it healthier, but you don't necessarily know how to. We're just going to kind of dive into that. We're going to give you 10 healthy pantry stocks, not just sugar. There's going to be some other neat little things in there that you might not know about. And then Mirna's going to give you 5 healthy snack options. So we're just going to dive right into it because we basically both have our entire kitchens out here on our tables. Yeah. And we're going to show you some brands that we like, some things that we use. So number one, because it is Sugar Talk series, we are going to talk about white sugar. And we always tell our clients that if you are trying to lose weight and get a little bit healthier, that cutting back on the 3 W's is a great place to start. And that's your white sugar, your white flour, and your white rice. But we do eat white rice from time to time. I actually digest it a lot better than brown rice. So if I'm having a meal like a curry or something, I have a little bit of white. So it's not like a be all and end all. It's just a cutting back on those 3 things because they do tend to spike your blood sugars. So white sugar is a biggie. I don't have it in my house anymore at all. And it's taken a little bit of time to get that completely out of the house, but it's out. And I'm finding that my sugar swaps now is a lot easier. And this goes for brown sugar as well. I actually don't have cane sugar right now. I'm not stocked up on it. I usually buy cane sugar in bulk at Bulk Barn. You can get organic cane sugar there. And for white sugar, I just do a 1-for-1. You can do cane sugar because it's basically the same thing, except the cane sugar is not as processed as the white sugar. For brown sugar, coconut sugar is the way to go. And this is just a little bag. You can find it basically any grocery store in the health food section or in the baking section. And then if you have a recipe that uses liquid sweetener, maple syrup, if you have a Loblaws nearby, you can buy this one for $10. It's the big guy. It's 500 milliliters. And raw honey. We always recommend raw honey because raw honey has those enzymes in it. It's unpasteurized, so you're getting all the benefits. You're not getting that processed stuff that's taking away the benefits. And this is just an example. This is a creamed raw honey from Twin Bridge. I think this is a local. Yeah, this is a local one. This is an Ontario honey, and this is lemon flavored. I actually put this in my tea. It's really, really awesome. So those are the big ones, I think. So
I have exactly the same thing, by the way. Exactly the same things. Yeah, so I have another local honey here as well as the maple syrup and the coconut sugar.
Yeah, and honestly, if you stock those 4 sweeteners, you will never need white sugar ever again. No. It's true. You won't, because you can really swap out white sugar for any of those things. And if you want, because white sugar is very, the granules are really small, you can always blend your cane sugar to create this exact same consistency as white sugar. So that's sugar. Get rid of the white stuff. You don't need it. And number 2 is bread and pasta. So I don't have any white bread in the house either. I never do. I don't see a need for it, but that's, you know, that's taken a little while to get past as well. I am an advocate for Stone Mill Bakery. It's a Toronto bakery. They slow craft their breads. Their breads are fermented. You can buy sprouted. You can buy the sourdough is fermented. You can buy, so you got the fermented, the sourdough, the sprouted. There's bagels. There's like raisin and cranberry, cinnamon. There's like a ton of different flavors. You can get this at, actually, I found this one at Walmart. So it's everywhere now. They're great.
Rye variety is great, and rye is a great grain for balancing blood sugar. Just the way it's digested, it's really good for that. So.
Yeah, this one is Bavarian light rye. It's fermented for 12 hours, and you can get the other sourdough is a sprouted flax, I think. Yeah, they're really, really awesome. They're a great brand. That's Stone Mill Slow Crafted. You can also buy Ezekiel bread. You can buy some gluten-free breads are really, really awesome. I would always recommend going for the whole grain option because there are some gluten-free breads out there that are made with like potato and tapioca starch, which is like almost your equivalent to white flour. So try to go for whole grain, sprouted, fermented, those kinds of breads. Pasta, I only have a couple options today. I buy Olivia the spelt fusilli. This is an organic spelt pasta. Really awesome. Spelt is a very low gluten grain. It does have gluten in it, but it's a much easier to digest grain and flour. I use spelt flour for a ton of baking. It's a really good, I find it's a really good white flour substitution for baking, but not everybody enjoys that nutty taste. So, but anyways, this is spelt fusilli. Olivia loves it. She's all for it.
Because I was just talking to my mom today because she was telling me that she's feeling a bit bloated. And I was suggesting, I'm like, Mom, why don't you try spelt? And then she remembered that recently during her visit to Bulgaria, she was having spelt bread and she wasn't feeling as bloated as with the wheat. So
it's a great grain. I love spelt. And then I have Go-Go Quinoa. This is one of my favorite pasta brands, Go-Go Quinoa. They do quinoa and a white rice blend, but the quinoa is really, really high in protein, so it kind of makes up for the white rice in a sense. I'm not even going to get into the ingredients list, but they're a really great pasta brand. Another great pasta brand, which I don't have any on me, or not brand, but type of pasta, is a brown rice pasta. And that you can get in basically any type of pasta. So you can get like a linguine, you can get fusilli, you can get all of them. So that's good. Go-Go Quinoa is really good. Brown rice, spelt, kamut pasta. I don't know if you have any recommendations on the pasta.
Pastas, you know, I forgot to get the pastas. But yeah, I do have a couple. I have like some fettuccine and stuff in the pantry, but I can't remember the name now.
Yeah. So when in doubt, brown rice.
Brown rice, spelt kamut, yeah.
Yeah. And then number 3 was flour. So I don't have spelt flour on me here, but that's generally what oh, there we go.
I have
that's usually the brand I buy too.
Whole grain, whole spelt. And I think you also buy a sprouted. I don't have that one, but this is the one that I most commonly find. And this is whole, so this is perfect.
Yeah. So so here's what I find the difference. The whole, you're going to get that nutty. Yeah, you're going to get that whole grain taste. Whereas if it is more processed and refined, then it gets more like a white flour. Bulk Barn, I find, is very finely ground. So, and Bulk Barn is the one that's sprouted and organic, I'm pretty sure. And you can also get like sprouted buckwheat flour at Bulk Barn, which is really awesome for pancakes.
I have like almond flour here, but almond flour is really hard like to use in certain recipes. It's great for some stuff, but it's not. And I think this is Bob's Red Mill.
Yeah.
And it's expensive, so.
Yeah, coconut flour too. So you got to be careful with flat flours is a really interesting one. I use spelt, like if I'm doing a bread or like a banana loaf or muffins, I always just use spelt, or whole grain flours is fine as well. But like if you want to like really start experimenting with gluten-free flours, almond is a great place to start. It's got that sweet taste. Cream's an interesting one to swap out. Too much dairy in the diet in excess can cause inflammation and cause a whole host of problems, skin issues, etc. Coconut milk is a great one. So like pastas, I use coconut milk for pastas. I use it for smoothies. Coconut creamer in your coffee. Yeah. Cashews, if you soak cashews and you blend it up with water, you get a very creamy consistency. And cashews you can put nutritional yeast in and use in place of cheese, or you can go the opposite way and put maple syrup in and use in place of cream for like raw vegan ice creams, or I don't know, so whatever you want to use cream in. Like,
this is a 1 kilo bag and it lasts for so long. It's from Costco. They have, so Costco is a great place. I don't know, do you have one nearby?
Yes, yeah, there's one in London.
It's a great place for nuts and seeds because they're so much cheaper. So
yeah.
And usually they even have organic varieties, and there's nothing but raw cashews in this. So
yeah, they're great for like bulk, right? Yeah. Coconut oil, I hear, is really cheap there. Soy sauce. So that's probably one that most people don't really think about. But soy sauce is highly processed and made with white flour. And there's actually a really easy substitution. It's called tamari. It's basically soy sauce, but without the white flour, the heavy processing, etc. So I get this question all the time. People are like, what is tamari and where do I find it? Tamari you can find in the health food section of any grocery store. It looks like soy sauce. Actually, Sanjay is the tamari I buy, and you can get this organic. You can look for the gluten-free option for it. Yeah, this one doesn't have any flour in it. It has the bacterial culture, so it's fermented and it has that healthy bacteria. It's really great alternative. It is a little bit more expensive, so sometimes I do half and half. If I'm just like kind of trying to watch my budget for the week, I buy soy sauce and tamari, and I kind of just assess the situation. If I'm using a lot, I don't use all my tamari and I just like blend them, but that's my strategy.
I have another one here, and this is one I recently bought because my hubby, he's not a big fan of soy sauce or tamari. So he usually finds out whenever I use them in recipe. But recently I got this coconut aminos made from coconut tree sap. And it's nice. It's a bit less salty, I would say. But it's quite good. It's a bit more expensive as well, but we don't use a lot.
I've actually never tried coconut aminos, but I hear it tastes pretty good, yeah. So next one is salad dressings. So your ranch, your Caesar, the highly processed ones that have like an infinite amount of ingredients. Is really, really simple to just recreate salad dressings, and the ratio, if you just remember 1 to 3 oil to vinegar, so 1 part oil, 3 parts vinegar, it's a really good base, or acid, so lemon juices you can replace. Yeah.
One thing about the apple cider vinegar, I just wanted to say is with apple cider, you want to buy unpasteurized. So this is the one that's going to have all the good and unfiltered. So you would sort of see this residue at the bottom, and this is all the good bacteria that's going to be really good for your gut. So you want to make sure that you buy this one.
Yeah.
So it usually says with the mother or just unfiltered, unpasteurized.
Yeah, it'll be cloudy. And generally it's in a glass. I've found a couple plastic apple cider vinegars, and then they don't say that, so I just assume that it's not the right kind. Yeah, so 1-to-3 ratio, and then you can start adding in herbs, spices. You can add in tahini to make it creamy. You can add in coconut cream. Yeah, you can add in cashew cream. You can there's a million recipes online for homemade recipes. And honestly, if you don't want to make your own, Renee's has a really good balsamic vinegar. Newman's, I think, makes a really good brand. Kind of go to the health food section to look for your dressings, and then always just read the labels to make sure there's not a ton of sugar or a ton of ingredients in them. So number 7, sandwich condiments, like your mayo, margarine, whatever you choose to put on your sandwiches. Whole grain mustard is really good. We talked about that last week with the Dijon. You can buy organic mayo. You can make your own mayo. It's not as crazy as it sounds. Hummus is a really good one to put on sandwiches. Tahini, like a roasted red pepper dip that's made dairy-free. If you make your own black bean dips, there's just so many other options that you can put. You can get pickles, like if they're fermented, or you get them from like a really good source. Pickles, sauerkraut is really good. A cracked egg, and then you have all that yolk on your sandwich. Like there's just so many options for sandwiches other than highly processed mayonnaise.
So next we have the herbs and spices mixes. A lot of them that you buy outside are actually, they have a lot of fillers sometimes. They have a lot of sodium. They might add MSG. The sweeter ones like cinnamon mixes or like pumpkin spice mixes would usually have added sugar. So an easy way is to just do your blends at home. I'm really bad with ratios because what I usually do is I just like mix whatever I have at hand whenever I'm cooking. I'm like, okay, this tastes good, so I go. But you can make your own blends. For example, for a curry blend, you can use something like cumin, coriander, turmeric. There's like cardamom, a bit of cinnamon, and if you want a bit of heat, you can use cayenne pepper. For that, I know you have a really good blend that you use all the time, Jenny. I forgot which one it is.
I'll have to, you know what? We should just put it up on the blog because I have so many.
But there's so many. If you just Google, you will find so many alternatives. Like if you want an Italian, you would use a bit more like rosemary and thyme and oregano and basil and all of those. So it's so easy to make your own blends, and then you're more in control of putting maybe the herbs and spices that you like versus ones that you don't, maybe. So a great alternative. Maybe we'll put up something on the blog for that. Another thing is fruit yogurt. I think we talked about that last week, and you showed the crazy amount of sugar that is in fruit yogurt. So instead of fruit yogurt, just go with full fat Greek yogurt. Regular yogurt is okay too. Greek yogurt just is a bit higher in protein, and you just put some fresh fruit and raw honey and top with some like hemp seeds or flax seeds or chia, and it's a perfect replacement for a snack as well. I think another one we have today is granola or trail mix. I don't typically make my own because it's like whatever I feel like on the day, I just go and pick up the nuts. But instead of buying the ones at the store, which usually have added oils and added sugar, so all the dried fruit typically that you buy in those trail mixes, most of them would have either added apple juice or added sugar to it. So you can just add your own blend of raisins, chocolate chips. And speaking of chocolate chips for baking, this is a generally great brand. They're 70% and they have like very simple ingredients. So all this has is cacao mass, cane sugar, cacao butter. That's it.
Yeah,
so
that's the brand I buy.
And it's available everywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So you can make your own. We're going to post a couple of recipes below this video for granola. I think we have that on the site. So we'll post it below and you can make that.
So simple.
So simple. And with snacks, one of our favorites are Lara bars. And we just posted a recipe for that.
Yeah.
So it's very simple. It's peanut butter, our favorite, dates, maybe some chocolate chips, maybe some, like for a crunch, you can put some whole like peanuts for that crunch. And we'll also post that below. In terms of snacks, I had something today and I just thought I would say it's something we're used to having in Lebanon whenever you have a bit of a sick stomach. It's like the mashed potato thing is we have brown rice, usually white rice, with yogurt, a bit of salt, and mint.
Interesting.
And I've been so good with my meal prep this week that I had a brown rice left. I had some yogurt and I'm like, I really feel like this combination. So I just put like brown rice, maybe half a cup of brown rice, about 3/4 of a cup of yogurt, a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And then I had dried some mint over the summer and then I just sprinkled the mint and it was delicious. I had that for lunch. I know it's so simple, but it's really good. And as a snack, probably you can just decrease the portion a bit, but it would be like a great snack. What else do we have here? For snacks, one of my favorites is hard-boiled eggs. I'm not a morning egg person. I'm usually like a lunch or snack egg person. So I would have hard-boiled eggs with sliced veggies, with avocados, with hummus. I like adding cumin to it because cumin is great for digestion, and it gives a really good taste. And sometimes what I do is I mash the egg with cumin with a bit of olive oil and a bit of avocado, and I have it over toast.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it tastes delicious. And for our sweet tooth, a really easy one that's included in the 7 days of guilt-free desserts. I think we have that, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe not, is simple fried coconut oil and cinnamon banana. So all you need to do is have heat up a bit of coconut oil, have some banana slices, fry them up on both sides, and just top with some cinnamon, and it's a perfect.
So good. With yogurt, I put it on yogurt. It's awesome.
Yeah. And we have, totally agree with you. Sumbul, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I love intuitively eating. Each recipe is a la carte for your body. Yeah. Lol, totally true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, I think if anybody has any questions or is looking for any other healthy swaps, just let us know below. And otherwise, we'll see you next week. Don't forget to download your 7 days of guilt-free desserts. They're all delicious. We have brownies and ice cream.
Cookies. So much. Actually, if you guys also want to just leave your healthy snack ideas or what you guys snack on in the comments, that would be awesome too, because we want to hear. We always need more snacks on our roster. So
yeah. You're welcome, Carrie. All right.
Hi, Carrie.
Thanks. Carrie saying thanks. Thanks. Have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.